We've arrived at a sparkling venue in the east of the Republic, close to the town of Celadna.
The golden city of Prague, city of 100 spires and capital of the Czech Republic. The city, renowned for opera, ballet and classical concerts, first embraced the European tour in 1997, and now the flags are out for its return.
And there's so much more beauty than just the capital. The Czechs are keen to show the splendour of a fast-developing golf destination as it hosts the Moravia Silesia Open, presented by ALO Diamonds. We've arrived at a sparkling venue in the east of the Republic, close to the town of Celadna. It's a prosperous, beautiful area set among mountain peaks. The Prosper Golf Resort opened in 2001, co-designed by a youthful Miguel Angel Jimenez.
Yes, sure. I'm very happy with the result. The course has been improving and has been establishing itself over time. The trees have been growing and the course has been taking proper shape, so it just shows that you need time. A couple of years have passed since then and everything is going well.
Conditions couldn't have been better for the first round of the Moravia Silesia Open. And it's an emotional week for David Frost from South Africa. He's 49 and he's playing in his last European Tour event before going to join the American Champions Tour. That was for a birdie at the 5th. He was round in 72. The course has been designed by Miguel Angel Jimenez. He's here this week. That was for a par at the 2nd in what was for him a round of 71. He might have expected something better than that, but 71 was a steady enough start. Ignacio Garrido, another of the Spaniards here, who was third at Celtic Manor, popping that one in for a birdie at the 9th as he finished in 67, 5 under par, and that was the same mark as Francois de la Montagne, who covered the first 9 in 31. This was for a birdie at the 7th, but came home in 36 for his 5 under par score. Also on that mark, Robert Jan Derksen from Holland, who didn't drop any shots. This was his 2nd to the 14th. On a day when there was some low scoring but some high scoring as well on a golf course which has very undulating greens and quite thick rough. Steve Webster isn't finished yet, he's still out there. This was his 2nd to the 14th. Webster, who has twice been 2nd this year and still to win this season, is on 6 under par, as is John Bickerton, who is in the clubhouse on that mark. This was his 2nd to the 5th. Bickerton dropped only 1 shot all day. Popped that one in for his 6 under par score, but that was one behind Tano Goya, the Argentinian who won in Madeira. This was for a birdie at the 4th. He shot 7 under par 65, and he still left some shots on the course. He could have been 10 under. Conditions couldn't have been better for the first round of the Moravia Silesia Open. This is the last competition on the European Tour that David Frost, the South African, is going to play. The 49-year-old is going to the Champions Tour in America in a few weeks' time. That was for a birdie at the 13th with a 70. He made the halfway cut on 2 under, and so too did the architect of the golf course, Miguel Angel Jimenez. This for a birdie at 15 en route to a 71. He too on 2 under par. Martin Lefebvre, the 2003 Dutch Open winner, hold this excellent birdie putt at the 8th en route to a 68 and 7 under par. Sam Little with a 67 was on the same mark, and John Bickerton with 5 birdies and a 71, this one at the 15th, also on 7 under. On the same mark was the Spanish golfer Ignacio Garrido, who had taken a 6 at the 16th but then chipped in at the 17th for a 2. Good comeback that. He shot 70 for his 7 under. Robert Jan Derksen, who started at the 10th, had 3 birdies on the back 9 but only 1 on the front 9. This was it at the 5th. He shot 69 for 8 under par. Steve Webster had 5 birdies in his card. This his second to the fifth that set up one of them. Look at the way it just crept over the hill and almost went into the hole. He spoiled his card with a 6 at the 14th, but on 8 under par he shares the lead. And Graham Storm, 2 top 5s this season already for Storm. That was his tee shot at the 6th, 8 under par for him, 68, three-way tie. Conditions couldn't have been better for the first round of the Moravia Silesia Open, presented by Aloe Diamonds, and this perhaps the shot of the day. It came from Richie Ramsey from Scotland, the former US amateur champion. This at the 8th, using the bank or the slope on the green to good effect there for an eagle 2. Round in 70, he finished the day on 7 under par. Robert Jan Derksen ran up a 7 at the 7th, the par 5, but it didn't affect him too much when he played his second shot to the 8th. He finished on 8 under par after a round today of 71. Oscar Henningsen, who was 4th last week in the SES Scandinavian event, that was just one of his buddies at the 6th. In a round of 67, he too is on 8 under par. Sam Little chasing his first win on tour. Popped that birdie putt in at 13. His round of 70 moved him to 9 under. And on the same mark, Gareth Mabin, beaten in a playoff earlier in the season in South Africa. That was his third shot to the 10th, the par 5, almost into the hole. He too shot 68. Graham Storm worked hard at the start of his round, but this was his second to the 8th. Almost as good as Richie Ramsey's. He's on 10 under par after a round of 70 today. And tied on that mark is Ignacio Garrido of Spain. He'd birdied 12, 13 and 14. Just missed a birdie at 15 and popped that in for an eagle at the 16th. He did double bogey the last. He's on 10 under par, 69. And the 2 10 unders are one behind this man, Steve Webster. This is second shot to the second. He played quite superbly throughout. Didn't have much luck on the greens, shot 69 and is on 11 under. Conditions again for the final round of the Moravia Silesia Open, being played in the eastern part of the Czech Republic. Ignacio Garrido, who's only had 2 wins on tour, went out in the 33. This was his second to the second. Oh, perfect. But he had 4 bogeys in a row at the start of the inward half. He finished with a 72 and on 10 under par. He finished joint 4th with Mark Kao from Zimbabwe, who shot 66 today, and with this man, Graham Storm, who had only 2 birdies on his back 9. That was his second at the 13th, as he shot 72 for 10 under. Stephen Webster, 38 to the ton, came home in 34 and finished joint second after a round of 72. That was his second at the 6th. A wonderful shot there. And also sharing that second spot, Sam Little, whose best performance this year so far had been 32nd, but he too would finish second. That was his approach to the 9th, just one of the birdies he had in his round of 70. But the man who won the title was the Swede Oscar Henningsen, 23-year-old, playing in only his 21st European Tour event. That was his second to the 8th. This is birdie at the 13th. Beautiful. He shot a 67 in the final round for a 13 under par winning total. He was the 12th first-time winner this year. He was the 2nd Swedish winner of the season. He had 2 putts for it at the end, so missing that little one didn't really matter. 67 for 13 under, and he received the trophy. And a very happy Oscar Henningsen, the winner of the Moravia Silesia Open.